Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to explain about Photon customization. Photon customization for our players. So for those who are beginning with Photon, you can use this video as your guide to creating customization. Now, customization is a really hard hard job. Hard implementation because sometimes it would fail, but now this is a really easy guide for those who wants to use customization. So right now we are in our Unity editor. I've already created my multiplayer manager. If you want to have this multiplayer manager script, you could just watch some of the videos creating the Photon multiplayer script. This multiplayer system is using Photon, so don't be alarmed of what I'm using. And create a multiplayer manager game object. I've already created 3 panels. One of them has a drop down which will be used for today. And right now we can just create. And now to begin our tutorial, let us create a C# script. Now today we're creating 2 C# scripts, but right now let's create the first one. So if you can name this customizer. You can name this customizer manager or anything else, but I would use customizer instead. So customizer. What I'm using right now is the Rider that is made by JetBrains. You might be using Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, but this is what I'm using. Right now, let's import some of stuff. But before that, if you're using ordinary UI elements, you have to type Unity Engine .ui. But since I'm using TMP Text Mesh Pro, I'll use using TM Pro. And in here, let's create three list of classes. These will make our customizing. So public list of, since I have recorded this a couple times and using colors is not really a good idea. So I currently use right now materials, and then we can just put in color materials. And then the next list is private list of strings called material names. The last list, this will be static list of the same materials. And to make this static list the same as this list they created, this is not static, so put materials is equals to color materials. You'll see later why is this important. So now let's create the other properties. So public, if you are using the ordinary UI elements, you would just type in drop down, but currently I'm using TMP, so TMP drop down. Color drop down. And below we can put a private, a public, int, in color, mat index. I want to hide this. If you want to hide this, we can just put hide in expector. But the next property I won't hide. So public string current material name. You'll see why it's important too. So we'll just save that and go to our editor. Okay, we're back. Now let's attach this customizer script into the manager game object we are putting in. So here we have our customizer. I will just open this panel. In here, we will put our color drop down, which is this. I've already created that, but if you want to create yourself, we could just put in UI, then drop down these two, either using the ordinary or Text Mesh Pro. Multiplayer, color drop down, and right now we'll just close the join panel. And right now I forgot to mention this, but we need to create all of the materials we need. So I've created a folder called materials, and in here let's create a material. So let's name this red, and we'll just take this smoothness into 0, and then we'll just see red. And let's see if this can be attached to my player. This is already my player, and let me see if I can attach this material. Okay, I think, yeah, yep, I definitely got it. Okay, so let's just take this out. Wait, let me edit some of this. I just tried to pause this so I can edit. Okay, so I already created all the elements. Now I just have to change their material properties, so there will be no difficulties. Let me know the difficulties. Okay. Okay, let's go now. Let's go back to the assets. Just take out this player because I got some, adjustments to do with the materials. Now let's open our script. Now let's begin with our customization code. Now I'll just use my guide script because I had to review some of the things I need to do. So customizer. So let's access our color drop down. So color drop down that clear options. Sorry for the inconvenience because there is inconvenience of my noise because my grandfather is watching TV. So just mind my talking. Okay, mind my talking. So okay, so in here let's go down to our let's go down here, and for each list, for each material 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 in color materials, material names dot add no color no material dot name, and then in our color drop down let's dot add options. Here we'll add the material names, and finally color drop down dot refresh shown value. The next method we'll put in is a method that we can access or put in our color drop down. That would be pressed by the color drop down. So public void set and wait, I'll comment that. So first we need to type something I have forgot. So public int color name, no, not color name, color index. I want to hide this because if you want to hide, just put in hide and an expector. This is not really important, but you'll see what happens. So public, not a public string, it should be a string. Current string, current material name. You'll see why. Wait, I already created. Sorry, I've already created this. Sorry, I've already created this. Sorry, I thought I already didn't create it. So the importance of these two things here is because we want to we want to make this for our player. So set color and index, and then mat index is equals to index, and is it current material name is equals to it is equals to material names dot now material names and the argument of index. And then finally, here we are now going to the multiplayer system, because you know it's very important for multiplayer, because we're making a multiplayer. Without the multiplayer class, it's very useless. So let's import our Photon, because we're using Photon as our multiplayer system. Pun, because we're taking some stuff. And then let's create something that is very important. Private, no, hashable, no, private. But before we put in that, there's a hashable script. A hashable script is a vault of many kinds of properties. Like you can store strings, ints, floats, bools, and other stuff. But there are already two hashable scripts. If you have Photon, the Unity hashtables and Photon hashtables. If you accidentally put Unity hashtables, then that will be very wrong. So we'll just put using Photon hashtables, create that custom custom hash table hashtable. Photon hashtable is equals to hashtable from exit games the client that Photon at hashtable, and for each hash no for each not for each let's create a new method. Public void set hash, and then here we'll say private no Photon hashtable hash is equals to a new hashtable. No, not this one, because they're the same. That's why I use Photon hashtable, so it will be different. Photon hashtable. And then which is if photon network dot is connected photon no set hash, and set hash, and well, inside this special straight brackets is a key. The key is just like it's like example, there are different boxes in the vault, and the key is, you know, the key and the box has a name. If they have the same name, then it can unlock the box. So the key we want to put in here is a color no material names, no, not material names, is equals to, you can store anything like strings, both, I already told you that. So we'll just put in the no, not material names, the current material name, the string that we put in. And photo network, we'll just get the network dot local player, it's the client that is using, and the player data dot set custom properties, and the properties we want to put in is the hash that we just created. And there we go. I think we're done here. Let's go back to our Unity. Okay, back here we can just go to our multiplayer manager and let's add the four materials we created in the material folder. So in our multiplayer manager, let's put in the red, yellow, blue, no, red, yellow, green, and blue. Gonna sort that. Okay, there we are. We have created color materials, and let's open our join panel. And in our color drop down, let's put in our multiplayer manager, and sorry, customizer. We can set our set color. This is what, when we press what choice we need, and we'll close our join panel, and let's see if it works. Okay, so let's just press connect. Wait, wait. We have an error. We have an error. Okay, so I found the error, what the cause of the error. So back in our IDE, we haven't made this list of strings into initialize this list of strings. So let's add some of the initialization code. So new list of string. I forgot to put it there. So let's just pause. Okay, so let's just go back to our editor. Okay, back in our editor, we'll just play. Okay, and here we'll just press connect. There we go. We have our list of colors. So in our multiplayer manager, we can just press yellow and it turns to the current material name. So blue, green, red. Okay, there we go. But even though we usually begin our game, the current material name is empty. So let's go back to our IE, and here we can say set color and then the math index. Okay, back to our window. We'll just press play. We'll try to see that. And we'll just press connect. And the current material name is red, even in the start. So I think we're all done with everything we just set up. But whenever we go to create a room, the player hasn't even set the color. So let's go back and let's fix this problem. And this is where the new script, the second script comes in. So let's create a C# script called player detailer. And we'll just wait for that to compose. Okay, let's open our player detail script in our IDE. And data. Okay, so in our IDE we'll put in some details. So let's put in using Photon network, no, not Photon network, Photon.pun and mono behavior pun callbacks. And in here we put a public sprite renderer. We'll take our sprite renderer, render, renderer, renderer, and then renderer, and then a public list of materials called materials, and then finally a public string material name. And then the importance of the customizer's static list is because we need to access it to our player detailer without any manual advice. We need to make it automatic. So the materials is equals to customizer dot materials. And now let's begin with everything we need. So for each wait, before we put a for each, we need to access the string name. So this line is really important to Photon customization because it's really a very valuable key. So Photon view is the default something from the mono behavior pun callbacks, in which accesses the Photon view script of the player game object. The owner, the player that controls the game object and will access its custom properties. And then the key that we need is in here, the key that we just set. So let's take our material, make this one, and then under here, back in the back, we can say that material name is equal to comma this semicolon. But since there's an error, it's not really a string, but we can just cast it as a string. So string, and then we can now put in a for each. Can put in for each and materials, material in materials, and if materials, the material dot name is equal to material name, not double equals, we can put in material is equal to renderer dot material is equals to material, and we can just break the loop. There we go. I think we're done here. So we'll just save that. I hope this would work, because I had a lot of stress having to do this tutorial over again. Okay, back in our editor, we'll go to the resources folder in the player that we want to put in, and we'll just add a component which is the player detailer, and let's attach the sprite renderer, and go back and let us test if this really works. Okay, I hope this works. So connect, it's connecting to the server, and we'll just choose the color of choice, so green. Just name the room, and there, since we selected green, it's actually now green. There we go. Now let's see if it really works. Let's see if it really works into Windows, because the scary part is having to let the other client show the other client's color. So let's exit, and I will just build the game off camera. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and already played in, and also opened my second, the window I already built. So let's go into our here and just press connect, and then let's choose yellow. Remember, the Unity window is yellow. Create room, and then in our second window, we will choose the color yellow. You just join random room, because a room has already been created. So join random room. Let's see if it's here. Wait. I've chosen the wrong color. Okay. There we go. See? So now you can see that for our first client, the window is yellow, and the second client is green. So we can control that, and just give you proof. So that's it. We'll just exit down. It's already exited, and we'll just close this one. And so thank you for watching. And if you like my tutorials, just please subscribe and support in any way possible, so these tutorials can keep on going. So you can subscribe to my channel and to my main channel. So thank you for watching, and